This is just a short reminder. If you're someone that one day is listening to this episode, you've maybe listened to other episodes, or God used other ways to basically guide you to Islam being his religion. The whole purpose of my podcast is that I'm trying to say that I'm not a regular human. I have divine missions from God that only prophets and messengers had. The first level of that divine mission, I'm already doing it, which is exposing that God's religion is corrupted. The Qur'an is corrupted, which is the scripture that Islam uses. Christians don't like to admit it, but the Bible is corrupted as well, and that is also God's book. So these two books do belong to God. It's just that the devil, what he did was he pushed some group to the Bible and some group to the Quran as a way to obviously split God's religion. So there's evil in these two religions overall, and there's evil in their two books because the devil corrupts it. Okay, these are ancient books. They cannot be preserved. It's impossible. Human beings fail when they don't look at it and say there's something wrong with it. There's immorality, which means evil in it. There's something illogical in it, and they don't obviously then say, we're going to only take the good and leave the bad. That's their problem. And only bad humans would do that. Only someone with bad character, morality, could actually just take whatever these books say. So a good person cannot be in these religions. A good person cannot be following these books without feeling exactly what a good person would feel, which is anger, repulse, disgust, rage. It's just that good people, God might still protect their faith in him, and he could keep them in his religion and just tell them to ignore it. That's what good people do, like me. So I'm not trying to be arrogant by telling you I'm a good person. I'm just telling you, people who are not evil and don't like evil in his religion, which is split between Christianity and Islam, it's just that, these are his two books. So whatever religions, they obviously embody are both, just God's original religion split up. So Islam is the original religion, but it's split and corrupted, obviously. So do study both books. I already explained in many episodes what's wrong with the Bible and what's wrong with the Quran. I speak generally because right now I do go through only what prophets went through, which is that demons have the power to persecute me using human beings, animals, and pests that they possess. So God is putting me in certain locations in the United States where the entire city is controlled by the devil. When I say controlled, I mean in his control. God does not give the devil this power. People are free. 90-something% of the human race is possessed, just so you know. I would say 70 to 80% are evil human beings. Evil human beings are literally the majority of the human race. They just act normal in day-to-day situations, but you don't know what they're capable of in their heart. So part of this persecution, what it was showing me is how the devil corrupted God's scriptures, his religion, the psychology of it, the type of subjects or areas that he likes to pick on when he corrupts something. He always loves perversion and sexism. He hates women because he's male and he thinks he should go after the female and turn males into wicked losers like himself. The other thing he really hates is righteous people, obviously. So he also put into God's religion all throughout human history, which is in Islam right now, to kill people who either leave the religion or disagree with anything. Okay, that's how you know it's obviously corruption in it. What God is going to tell you to kill people? See, I want you to understand why this is wrong. I don't want you to just think, right, killing people is the only reason why it's evil or wrong. I have to keep pausing and recording over and over because noise keeps coming over my recording, because demons do that. They do things in a way where no matter how quiet and peaceful my environment is, there's just going to be random noise all of a sudden to prevent me from recording and to harass me on a day-to-day basis. So basically, the other reason obviously it would be evil when it says to kill people who either disagree with the religion, anything in it, or who they just leave it, is the fact that then God would be giving your own species, right, a creation, something that is equal to you. Humans are equal to each other. There's no gender that's superior than the other. That's one of the things that God is going to take out, the sexism towards females. So If God was to tell a human to kill you because you don't believe in something, what does that mean? Use your brain. Because I'm sick and tired of dumb human beings who don't want to think. Use your brain cells. It means whoever thinks this way, obviously is possessed, first of all. You cannot be evil and not be possessed. Their demons are controlling them. And yes, they know they're possessed. That's why they like what they do so much. And two, okay, so what does it mean? It means these humans believe they're your God. They're not acting like they're equal to you as a species. If they think they can take your life away because you disagree with God's religion, they want to act like it's some sort of punishment. You know, like when you commit a crime, like beating up some innocent person or stealing people, their property or something. They want to act like it's this sort of righteous thing. Only evil humans would say that. We're human beings, we're good or evil. If you're a normal person, you know what this is. Only evil humans would follow these parts of the religion. So I'm warning you right now, any non-Muslim who wants to enter this religion, such as the devil right now is corrupting a lot of the protesters all over the United States. These young, dumb, ignorant youth, instead of going to their school, they're destroying their universities. Instead of sitting down with the colleges and universities and expressing maybe that they don't want their funds going, they don't want any sort of money put into the university to go into war. You talk with people. You can all just leave the school. They're all brainwashed and they're all possessed by demons. Demons are in control of them, so they get to make them act dumb and go outside and put their lives in danger. And they're just agents of Satan. They're just going to be used to do whatever the devil's planning and the sort of long-term goals he has. And the short-term goals right now is to make everyone act dumber than they already are and expose how dumb they all are. And a lot of people are going to expose they're possessed. And those who don't even believe that demons possess people, maybe. I mean, I just told you 90-something% of the human race is evil and they're possessed. So whoever acts like they don't believe demons exist is possessed. Who are they talking about? Huh? They're possessed too. What do you mean I don't believe demons exist? They're in you. So only a small minority is not possessed, which are really moral, good people. And they're very rare. And they're from all religions, obviously. Good is just good. It's not people who worship God or whatever that are somehow protected. They're actually the most harmful right now, which are Muslims and some Christians. Okay, so they're just going to expose themselves. The devil's just going to expose more things about human beings. He's going to expose a lot of the things the politicians and presidents are doing. The world is about to end, so just a lot of things are going to be exposed because God's leaders are coming. So it's not really because the world is ending necessarily. It's because the leaders are coming and they're going to help you and they're going to get rid of the lies about religion and morality and God. They're going to bring down justice and fairness between the two genders and all religions and all races and all ethnicities. Everyone's going to get their rights. We're done with this nonsense, okay? It's time for this devil to sit down. So, for that reason, the devil is just using everyone that he has access to. Some are homosexuals, LGBT. He's using them for his own agenda. These young youth, he ruins their schools, so they have nothing to do. So they're all just running in the streets, just dancing, drumming, and just singing and screaming and just they don't ask them what they're protesting about. They don't even know. There's people interviewing them and saying, what is your cause? They don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay? Demons, when they're possessing someone, they can make them do anything they want as long as the human is evil. The human doesn't always have to know what they're doing. They don't have to agree in that sense. They just have to agree to do something bad. Once they get that permission, they can make this human do the dumbest thing on the face of the earth. So, it's too complex. I speak in a general way because I can't explain everything. But just know that this is God's religion, and that's why there's so much evil in it, because it is God's religion, because the devil is trying to push people from ever knowing, right, that God is obviously good and that this is his original religion. People don't want to research and just see that obviously corruption entered it. There's many Qur'an that were burned. There's many that were lost. Muslims had problems in the past. The righteous leaders in that time, they obviously had times where they were angry, like the companions and the Prophet, and they burned many copies of the Qur'an that were made. But these evil, hypocrite religious preachers shut that down as evidence that there's something wrong with this book. Basically, as long as evil is something that's being justified, whoever is justifying it is an evil person. Good people cannot justify evil. Whoever wrote it is an evil person, and it's never from God. It's just sad. The reason why humans leave Islam when they see the evil in it, because they're just born to it. They just follow things. They don't know what they're doing. When they really start to come to maybe, non-Muslim countries, and they start to sort of be forced to go to mosques and stuff, and then they really start to hear a lot of lectures, and they're like, what the hell is this? What are they saying? Are they saying we're going to be killed if we even just disagree with something? They start to freak out. So I don't want you to think, right? You ever met a good Muslim that they don't know what they're doing. Don't think they know what they're doing. They don't know what's in this religion. No one reads the Qur'an. Muslims do not read the Qur'an. They only learn the Arabic recitation. No one reads the translation. And it's so hard to, even I had years in my teenage, up to like late teenage years, I didn't see a lot of these horrible verses myself. It's like very hidden. It's not in your face. It's usually in the chapters of the book that are very long. People are not going to read those chapters usually because it's so long. So what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of Muslims leaving the religion, and instead of that being a good thing, because that means they have morality to get away from the evil in their religion, but sadly the devil tricked them into leaving God altogether instead of just worshiping him and just disagreeing with the evil in it and being champions of change, of starting intellectual research and saying, we're not going to be mixed with you over there, the wicked evildoers. We're the actual Muslims. We are going to get rid of all this bad stuff in the religion. We're going to only follow the good part. They just didn't have the intellect to get to that point. Their brain didn't reach that smart conclusion. You know why? You know why that happens? Why they can't just do what I would tell you, what my podcast obviously always telling you to do. That is just corrupted. That you just ignore the bad stuff, and then one day God's leaders will take it out. Why don't they reach the same conclusion? Why do they always have to leave the religion? Why do they start to hate God? So why do they always fall into the trap and think that's actually God writing the bad stuff? Instead of thinking, oh, wait a minute. Didn't God tell us there was a devil? Wait a minute. Didn't the devil persecute prophets? Wait a minute. Didn't he always corrupt books? Wait a minute. Do you know why humans don't do that? Why they don't have these common sense type of thoughts? None of you do, because none of you are connected to God yourself. None of you are personally worshiping God. You're just told what to do as a child and you do it. You're born into Christianity, you just do what they tell you to do. You're born into Islam, you just do what they tell you to do. You're all like sheep. So when you're literally all worship your families, you're attached to the family. All these human beings who like to leave a religion or whatever, it's always when the family sort of doesn't support them. That means if their family supported them, but the book says nonsense in it, they probably stay in the religion. So it's not always about morality that they're leaving. It's when their family doesn't help them and they're sort of trying to kill them or be extreme to them. What the hell do you care what the family does? Are they God? So one of the things that the devil did to the human race, the majority of them, is they're weak as hell. They attach to their own species. They attach to parents and families and human beings. They attach to the creation of God the way they're supposed to be attached to God. So if the creation is bad to them, then they reject everything and go kill themselves or something. Why do you care what your family does? Did your family create you? Are they not human like you? Are they not weak like you? Are they not born like you? Did someone not raise them like you? Are they not manipulated into following something like you? Why are you seeking them for some sort of guidance? Aren't they just human like you? So that's one of the weaknesses I see the human race. They're just weak. They literally, whoever raises them is who they become. Whoever raises them, however that person behaves, is how they perceive the entire rest of the human species. No one wants to use their brain. This is not me mocking you because I have more intellect than you. No, you really are doing this out of not wanting to think better. So I have the right to judge you this harshly. I'm sick and tired of you human beings who don't want to think. Why are you so obsessed with human beings? Why, whatever they say, whatever they do, you just go in that direction? You're in this religion, the preacher says something horrible, you just leave the religion. Why don't you separate him from God? Why is he God to you? Isn't he like you, a human? You know humans lie. Why do you think whatever he says has to be God talking? Isn't he a human? Aren't there bad humans who lie? Why do you think God has to be bad if he's bad? If your family are evil, why do you think God is evil? As a male, if a female harassed you or did something bad to you in life, why you hate the whole gender? What the hell is wrong with all of you? Putting everyone together in a box. So my point is, this is God's religion. But when Muslims leave it, despite whatever their reasons are for leaving, they always do what the devil wants. They become very bad in their character, in their morality. They just become, human beings who are like always exposing themselves too much. And, those sort of nasty people who sing and dance. Singing is normal. Okay? But there's an indecent way to dance and sing. Do you agree? There's always some way you can turn something normal into indecency. Gross and disgusting and perverted. Do you agree? They always go that dark path. They don't become nice singers, for example. They don't become nice artists. They don't become peaceful, healthy people who are just artistic. They do exactly what the devil wanted. So that then the evil, filthy family, instead of laughing in their face, right? Because you're the good one, you left. You found God either way. And you started a journey of calling others to the fact that there's something wrong with your religion. What did you do? You did exactly what the devil wanted. He wants to accuse you of being a bad person and leaving the religion because you're a bad person. When at that time you were leaving it because there was evil in it. So you're the good one. What did you do? You go and start to become like some sort of prostitute in a club or bar, whatever that place is they all go to. The way those nasty humans dance and stuff and expose themselves like some animal. That's usually what these Muslims who leave the religion do. Or they do something else that's bad, or they go to homosexuality. Now what the hell are their family going to say, huh? Aren't they always trying to act righteous and better? Guess what they're going to say? Oh, they left the religion because they're evil. They left the religion because they wanted to become some sort of whore or slutter or male slutter. They're going to insult you now. You didn't expose what they were so scared of you exposing, that they're evil. Whoever follows the religion 100% and knows everything that's in it. Okay, because you have to be careful, obviously. You could ask someone, hey, do you follow everything in Islam? The Muslim could say, yeah, but that doesn't mean they know. So don't accuse people too much. Be specific with the question. Actually tell them the evil parts in it. Then if they're like, yeah, I follow the full thing, you just, okay, now they're evil. Because when we were all kids, they all told us to follow the Qur'an and Sunnah. Sunnah means, the way that the Prophet lived. You cannot follow how someone lived, they're dead. Whatever books are written about them, obviously there's no need to force it on people. That's not God's book. And two, there's bad stuff in it because humans lie. So evil humans, their job is to always disregard the fact that evil exists, the fact that the devil exists, the fact that bad exists, the fact that obviously the quality of evil such as lying and manipulating and corrupting text exists. It's like they live in their own little fantasy world. They want you to think that way. No, they don't actually believe in what they say to you. They know these books are corrupted. They're possessed by demons. Their demons tell them. They know. And they like it. Get it? Even if it harms them. They know what they're doing. They work for the devil. Their job is to corrupt the rest. When they see the good one, they target that one. This is not from God. Killing people to force them into a belief, do not accuse God of it. These people are going to get the highest place of hellfire, especially Muslims. How dare they be in God's religion and kill innocent people, forcing them into this religion. A religion that literally from the Creator came down to protect your rights. It's going to slaughter you? And it's going to give humans some sort of dominance over you as if they're going to kill you? Because when an evil human goes and rapes and murders someone, enslaves someone, that's punishment for immorality at a high level. That's the only time you would kill people. When they did something that is like killing others. Not when they do something small like stealing or cheating or lying or anything like that. Or committing a sin. The sin part that does not harm others, but they're just like going to clubs or bars or having sex outside of marriage when they are not married yet, like premarital sex. All that stuff, even cheating on their spouse, all that stuff is sin between them and God. You don't have the right to lay a finger on these people. When they follow these things that say don't do this stuff, who are they obeying? You or God? Okay. Obviously, the devil is accusing God of telling you to kill them. No one wants to say there's something wrong with the book. Let's go to God and figure out what the hell happened. Instead, they just leave the religion and they become very bad in their character, their morality. They become very nasty. They become perverted and strange themselves in some other way. Now the evil families are going to say to them, see, we were right. That is a horrible lunatic. She's selling herself. He's selling himself. They're nasty. You get me? Now they get to mock that person who at the beginning was better than them in character. Because now this person also became bad in some other way. Again, it's sinful. They're not evil. It's just they're exposing themselves too much. They're indecent, living very harmful life. When I say exposing themselves or indecent, I'm talking about extreme, okay? Like maybe close to nudity or whatever. I don't mean how non-Muslims dress. Again, that's just a sin. That's between you and God. No one has the right to lay a finger on you if you dress like that. That's your body. That's your choice. We're going to call you a pervert truly when you're going after others, trying to touch people. Okay, so my point is, these human beings sadly all fall into the devil's trap. They become human beings that even they probably didn't intend or want to become, but they got misguided too much. Probably because by leaving the true God, they feel so disconnected, so lonely, so depressed, but they don't know why. There's this sort of inner pain that they're feeling because they just left God altogether. You get me? Instead of just leaving the bad, they left the whole idea, right? The whole belief in a God. They just left it altogether. But deep in their heart, something's calling them that there is a God out there. You know, there are people who actually don't believe in a God. Okay, there's no pain. But this is someone, right, who maybe believed to that to some degree, so it's hard for them. That's what I mean. So there's some pain. There's some, sort of disconnect in the subconscious. They don't understand what the pain is coming from. And then they're going to go and be so confused and maybe get into drugs, alcohol. They're going to, again, these things don't make them a bad person. It's not healthy for them. These are the things that are between them and God. But what I'm saying is, it's still unhealthy lifestyle. They're getting into this stuff. Demons get to possess them. The more they go down that path, they push them to unhealthy ways of going to the opposite gender instead of a healthy way of finding a partner and getting married, right? Someone, not more than 4 years older than them, opposite gender, not related to them, family, etc. Healthy companion that God wants, because more than 4 years is perversion. God did not create you to desire that age group more than 4 years. That's only the devil who does that, and he needs false evidence. He makes sick psycho humans do that every day. Go to weirdos older than them, and he likes to act like because they did it, then that's the proof that then it's possible that somehow God did that. Well, the murder happens. All other evil in the world happens. You're not going to use something happening as evidence that it's normal or from God. So what I'm saying is, they don't live a normal, healthy life. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the devil comes after them. He wants them to be an example. That whoever, right, didn't agree with the evil in God's religion is actually a bad person. That's what he wants to say. You get me? If they went and lived a healthy, moral life, then they would be an example. No one can insult them now. No one can mock them now. At some point, God is going to guide them back to knowing that he is out there. They're just going to not follow the bad parts of his religion. But because they just disconnect from everything, they don't take their time, they don't live a decent moral lifestyle, the way that many humans just live decently. Instead, they go down a destructive path. And now that those evil families are going to say the person became unhealthy, right? Or immoral, or whatever. They're going to say that happened because they left the religion is the reason. Leaving the religion they're leaving is the bad one the devil created. Islam, the current one right now, is from the devil. Okay, it's no longer God's pure religion. So they're not leaving God. They're not leaving the good parts of Islam. They're not leaving their prophet. They're leaving the filth, demonic, weird stuff that obviously is making them leave. They're not bad people who, right, know God actually spoke to them or something, and they're like, I don't want to worship him. Goodness, no one knows God. No one saw him. It's a belief. He guides you to it. He shows you signs that he's out there, obviously, because maybe you prayed and something happened. Well, how did it happen? If he didn't hear you, right? He's out there then. Like that. We can all prove that God is out there because we can actually ask him to do something and something can happen. That's the best way to prove he's out there, rather than just saying things like, oh, look at how the earth was created. Look at, that doesn't necessarily mean, that's the best way to prove he's out there. There's always someone who's going to be like, oh, things just came out this way, You want to prove that he's out there by asking him to do something that's active, like right this moment that we're alive. The earth was already here before us, right? You want to see something now in your own current time that shows you he's real. God, please, if you're real, can you please, I want you to do this, like that. Ask him to do something normal, turn a situation around for you. Okay, it's going to happen. And you're like, wow, that's how you know he's real. Now the journey begins of trying to figure out who he is, right? Which religion are they talking about him? Because there's a lot of them, obviously, and all have to be false except one. And then the journey then goes again into you taking the moral parts and leaving the bad parts. But your job is to not tell anyone that you're not following the bad parts of Islam. So if you ever become Muslim, I inspire you every day to worship your Creator. This is his religion, but don't obviously become evil and follow the filth in it. The perversions, the sexisms, the extremist ways of killing Muslims who leave the religion or disagree. All this murder and evil and extremist ways and harming non-Muslims overall. And all this stuff that's evil is from the devil. Okay, but don't go around telling Muslims. Don't forget that on my podcast. I'm not telling you to tell anyone anything. Don't endanger yourself. One thing evil Muslims like to do is they go, obviously they usually like to tell their evil preachers. They go to the mosque or whatever, let them know, hey, we have another rational person among us. We need to execute them, because they're scared of rational people coming out, because then one day they're going to come together and expose the fact that his religion is corrupted. Sadly, no one got to that point. They killed before those people could even have a chance, right, to maybe have a couple of years or months to research, because it takes time. People are not educated on religion. They just follow what their parents tell them, right? How can they reach that point? Muslims just kill them right away. Okay? So these evil families like to go to the preacher. They like to bring the person into a place that's private so no one can see. And they act like the person is possessed as a way to mock you when they're the ones who are possessed. Get it? The evil human that is okay with every filthy thing in this religion. They're possessed, okay? So it's their demonic spirits that are mostly communicating with you, and it's not actually, the human. So it's the demonic spirits who are enjoying this and using this evil families they're possessing to kill you. And before they kill you, they're gonna obviously trick you, okay? You can't just kill someone. They're gonna defend themselves. It's just that they trick people. They don't tell them, obviously. They act like they just want to have a conversation with them. And these people sadly trust these families. They don't use their gut most of the time, which God obviously warns you. Basically, they take the person to a private place. If they're in these non-Muslim countries like the United States, it happens a lot. And they'll beat the person as if they're beating the demon, as if they're possessed. They're insulting this person. They're the ones who are possessed. The ones beating them are the demonic spirits manifesting, coming out of the body, possessing this human and actually beating you up. Isn't that disgustingly the most annoying thing in the world? A demon is accusing you of being possessed. I mean, some of these Muslims are possessed too to some degree, but usually if they're a good person, they're not possessed. Imagine a demon, right? Corrupted God's religion, got away with it, made all these evil humans, come out to become this way. There's no normal person around. He gets away with killing whoever they think is... Imagine how just these demons feel so powerful. And they insult you and accuse you of being possessed when these humans they're possessing are the possessed ones. And they're using these evil humans who obviously are insecure and scared of ever being exposed, that they're obviously agreeing with the bad parts of any religion, right? Because they're possessed. They don't want anyone to know they're possessed. Evil humans don't want you to know they're possessed. This is how you know an evil person is not ignorant or innocent of demonic spirits. Because they want you to think they're just bad, but that the devil somehow got them or something. No, evil people know they're possessed. They work for the devil. He talks to them. He shows himself to them. He asks them for permission to use them. But every day they walk around this earth and they will never, ever admit to being possessed by a demon. So are they not evil to a degree that's higher than someone who told you, yeah, they're possessed? When some of them change and maybe act like they left their bad lifestyle, they're still evil because they never admit they were possessed. A lot of homosexuals will never tell you if they left that lifestyle that they were possessed. They're just all liars. Someone who truly changed and wants to be good would be honest about what the hell they were doing and was wrong with them. That's what it means to be a good person. Honesty. You don't like tricking people. But the fact that every day you see people entering Islam or entering other religions or acting like they went to God or blah, 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 but they never tell you they were possessed. They never blame the demon for sort of what they wished, what they somehow went into. They're guilty, but who made them that way? The demon did, but they never tell you. What does that mean? That means they're not moral. Whoever acts like every day they came to God or something, who acts like they were drug addict and now they stopped or something, you're still a bad person. Because you're not telling people you're possessed. You don't want to get the demon out of you because you like it. You want the evil thing to still be inside your body and use you. A good person would want the evil thing to get the hell out of their body. So what does that mean? Is there demons using them to beat you up and accuse you of, right, you wanting to think rationally and be against the evil in God's scripture, which is from the devil, so you're doing a good job? They're going to mock you. The devil is going to mock you and beat you up and accuse you of being a bad person, a possessed person. When the ones beating you up are possessed and they're bad. That's the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen, that evil people get to get away every day with accusing people of their own qualities. Because no one connects being evil to being possessed. People think demonic possession is random. It happens to so-and-so, but not this so-and-so. No, you get possessed because you're a bad person. Other people can get possessed for sin they committed that is not necessarily about evil conduct, but some other way. But we will still say what they did isn't healthy. They abused drugs or whatever. Okay, is drugs good? No. 99.9% of the reason you get possessed is you're a bad person. That 0.1% is that sort of gray area. So anyone who has bad character, anyone who's toxic, narcissistic, mean, a bully, is rude, disrespectful, anyone who's just bad in their character is possessed. Do you understand me? But are you going to go to any one of them right now, ask them if they're possessed? What are they going to do? They're going to laugh. You think the human race is going to do the right thing when leaders come to them from God? Hell no. Because they're not even honest about something in their body. They're not seeking help. Why are they okay with demons possessing them? Why don't they want help? If they had a disease, they would run to the doctor. So because no one connected evil character and agreeing and believing in evil things in religion to being a possessed evil person who works for the devil, evil humans are able to wake up every day and act like they're righteous and they're the ones of God, and if you disagree, you're just different and you should be killed. They're able to mock you because you don't get to label them possessed. If you could just say, out of your mouth one time. You perverted, weird lunatic. You Muslim weirdo. You the what? You female and Muslim male who actually believe in the filth of this religion. You want to practice it. You're jinn yourself. They'll shut up. They don't think you'll ever know they're possessed. Because being possessed obviously implies demons, right? That they're demons themselves. That there's no point in arguing with them, correct? Because there's no rationality. There's nothing to talk about. They're crazy. One other sort of name that humans call people who are possessed is crazy. They're accused of being, they're basically labeled crazy. So righteous people of God like prophets, including me, someone that is trying to expose the corruptions in God's religion because I have divine missions that are similar to what they did. You're just not going to know who I am. And the entire human race is blinded from me. No one's going to figure out anything until God's ready. The devil was persecuting me to always try to accuse me of mental illness, which in human history meant crazy. Because the qualities of the evil human beings who practice any evil God created and accuse it on God, those who put it into God's scripture, those who follow it, those who kill you if you don't follow it, and those demons themselves who possess them, they all are crazy themselves. They're the ones who are psychologically twisted. One, because they're evil, and then two, because those demons possess those humans. That means they're crazy. Because you're not rational. You're not normal anymore. The demon gets to possess you, make you scream if it wants, make you just jump up for no reason like that. You're crazy. You have no control. You say dumb things, random things. You talk nonsense. You know what crazy means. But the devil, throughout human history, over time, he stopped making people he's possessing. He stopped them from acting out the way that they used to use past human civilizations. That would then make those humans get labeled crazy. You get me? Just sort of irrational, crazy behavior. Just running away, screaming. Ah! Okay, he made humans he's possessing not do that anymore. The demons came up with a new plan. Because they got so tired of human beings always labeling the evil human crazy. So then they're always shut down. They can't promote evil stuff. Because people don't even want to listen to them. They say you're crazy. So the devil started to just label crazy as just one little thing that only impacts one small group of the human race, and they're just over here, let's give them medication. He came up with this nonsense to just label it an actual problem over here. It's just anyone who's evil is possessed, which means they all have a level of insanity or crazy. Not insanity as in like going crazy. I'm sorry, let's not use the word insanity. That means something else. They all have a little bit of crazy. Okay, so the ones who are perverted are really crazy. But what the demons do is they don't want to use them like that anymore. Okay? They don't want to use them. They make them act normal around you every day. They make them get jobs every day. They don't want them to act out. So that then they can hide inside those people. They can just use them to get into every area of the human society. And that's how then slowly they can introduce evil and injustice and bad stuff into the world. Marry some people who are good people who they should not be marrying, and ruin their lives and continue having children who are possessed also. Some weird way they come up with it to get into also the lives of the kids. And that's how humans keep getting possessed even as kids. Like, it's so sad. I wish I could just teach all of you everything I've learned. But the point I'm trying to make is, these evil human beings have always existed. It's only a little bit of Christianity that really sort of was different. You know, didn't try to force religion on anyone, didn't try to kill anyone for it. All other religions always had that quality. Okay, then God's religion always comes down with a new prophet. They keep coming back because there's something wrong with his religion always. It gets corrupted every time. Okay, so they have to keep coming. They have to keep coming back. New prophets have to keep being sent to you. Which they're supernatural people. Demons, they can notice them and sense them. Demons do not have the power to kill a prophet. So all the stories talking about how they were killed is false. They lie. They wish they had power like that. 2, it's God who gives the devil extra power to persecute a prophet. And to persecute someone like me that humans don't have the power to touch or harass. Once God stops blinding them, they run in the opposite direction. Every day I have to be exposed to seeing these possessed, crazy human beings around you. I told you they're just going to act like the usual way. They're going to hide it. Around me, their demons make them exposed. They show me they're all psychologically crazy. Some are mentally ill but don't even look like it. But mental illness doesn't exist. It just means you're possessed. The devil created that name so he can protect evil humans from being labeled possessed. Because they're all possessive. They're evil. Which means what? They're crazy. You're not supposed to talk or argue with them. Because then that makes it seem like evil is something that somehow you can argue about. When evil is obvious. Right versus wrong is obvious. There's nothing to argue about or talk about. Bad is bad and good is good. You're only supposed to separate their lies, the evil they say, the way they try to justify something as something that it's not. You're only supposed to just use knowledge. So what I'm trying to say is, it's just sad that Muslims don't have a group that can just safely separate from the evil parts of Islam and just live normal lives, still worshiping God, because these people don't have connections with God. Human beings, all of them, except those that God himself, is very close to, like those he chooses. Human beings don't have a way to feel the presence of God. They don't have a way to connect with him. So it's whatever you raise them up to be. Whatever their families teach them, that's what they just believe. Okay, so then when they see something bad in it, or just maybe something they don't like, and they just leave a religion, then there's no such thing as believing in God anyway. You get me? It's easy for all of them to be just atheists. Okay, maybe they'll just find another religion like maybe Christianity and they'll enter it. You get me? And you're thinking, but wait a minute, if they were Muslim, that means they don't like the idea of a human being a God. Their religion taught them Jesus was a human, you shouldn't worship him, God is one, he's powerful. So why would they go to a religion like Christianity that says Jesus is God? You see, it doesn't make sense, right? They didn't go to another religion that also says God is one. Because they don't pick a religion based on logic or reasoning. They don't pick a religion based on certain foundations that they're looking for. When you're looking for a house, you have certain criterias. This amount of square feet, this amount of windows, this type of material. Like that, that's not what humans do when they are looking into religion or someone introduces it to them. Someone just maybe comes up to them, talks to them about Buddhism, and they just join maybe. Someone comes up to them, talks to them about Jesus, and they just become Christian. It's like whatever you call them to, with enough persuasion, they just enter. There's too much noise above me. Because as a species, they don't use their mind. 2, they don't call out to God themselves. 3, even if they do, the devil comes to them, and sadly, they don't have this knowledge that he can act like it's God sending that person to them, or sending that dream to them, or sending that thought to them. The devil can do that stuff. He could send you people because they possess them, okay? So it's not hard for him to send you people because the demons possess bad humans. 2, it's not hard to bring you thoughts because they whisper to your mind. It's not hard to show you dreams because they can use witchcraft. See the noise I have to deal with. These are normal vehicles, okay? Normal vehicles, this is the noise they make because these are demons harassing me. So, and they can send you dreams because they use witchcraft to send you dreams. So yes, humans, you're not going to really blame them for things like that. Why? Well, something is attacking them and they don't have knowledge of it. No one's blaming them. It's sad. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to show you why they easily fall into believing that God is the author of the bad parts of Islam. Okay, which is his correct religion. And why other religions they were just born into, why they also believe in the bad parts of that as well, that it's also from God. Why can't they ever just think, okay, there's something bad in this book. God is good. The bad stuff has to be from the devil. Why can't they ever just conclude and separate it like that? Because no one actually has a connection with God. People just do it like a ritual. They just worship whatever people tell them to do to worship. You get what I'm saying? No one has an actual connection with him. So they just do what they're told. Someone comes to them, right, after they became an atheist or left Islam or whatever other, other religions are out there. Whoever comes to them, which, right, whatever that person teaches them, they just get into it, and that they feel like maybe they have a community or something. Whatever, they just join. They didn't really take their time to see if this is from God. The devil uses that against human beings. So it's heartbreaking for me. It's sad how he destroys people. And I'm sick and tired of these demons, the power God gave them. I wish humans would use their mind and study history. How the people of God always got persecuted, which is what they're experiencing as Muslims when they disagree with the evil in their religion. The evil families persecute them. They try to kill them. Why don't they just connect that to, hey, wait a minute, I must be right. Why are they trying to kill me then? Because think about it. If you're the person of God, right, you guys are righteous people, your religion is not corrupted, let's say the prophet is alive, whoever right that moment is a good person worshiping God, if someone disagrees with religion, they're just going to be like, okay, I'll pray for you. Bye. You get me? So only evil humans try to kill you or harm you if you reject a religion because it's false. So they're trying to force it on you because it's false. Get it? They can't convince you unless you just obey and submit. Okay, if you want to use your mind, they cannot do that, correct? Because you're using your mind. You're not being submissive. So they're using violence as a way to make you obey. If you say no, then they'll kill you unless you fight back. Do you see what I'm saying? So trying to kill people if they don't believe in something is literally the sign that whatever they're trying to get you to do is not from God. Okay? That's it. Because only evil humans can harm others. Good people cannot hurt you. They're good people. They love you. Okay? It's that simple. A good person does not hurt others. They love people. They love God's creation. They love their own body. They would never let anyone harm them. They'll kill you. That means both genders. The sexism in your head probably said a thought that has a female gonna kill someone to protect herself. Shut up. Strong women exist and we're all human, and in a state of danger, people can protect themselves. I know the devil said that nonsense to you, as if only males can protect themselves. Shut up. So what I'm trying to say is, sadly, this is how the devil is coming after people who want to think and use their mind and try to find out God. They can't have enough time. Do you see? This is how you know this is from the devil and not from God. He's trying to prevent you from having time to think, because one day you're going to figure out his book is corrupted. Instead of just thinking, right, the whole religion is false, you're going to figure out God really is talking to you in some parts of that book and the rest is from the devil. You're going to figure it out. So they try to kill Muslims before that. They hurry up and try to kill them. So sad. And obviously a lot of times the government may not help them. You might think, well, if they live in the U.S., that's excellent. We have great, law enforcement that can stop these criminal families. Sometimes the devil, this is what I'm saying, he has a lot of power over human beings. He can obviously just, at that moment, right, bring you a bad law enforcement, the corrupt ones who don't want to help you. Maybe if you call them and say you need protection, you get me? He can make sure this person who's trying to protect themselves from criminals trying to kill them under the name of God, they call it honor killings or whatever, whether you had sex, before marriage, or whether you are questioning the evil parts in God's religion, which is you're supposed to do. That's how you protect yourself from the devil, obviously, and the lies that God told you to protect yourself from by using your mind. You're doing exactly what God told you to do. Okay? God is not going to hate this person for leaving his religion, because the person is not leaving God. They're leaving the devil's words. Okay? They're leaving a book that human beings wrote who were possessed, and demons were the ones writing it, using their hands, and it's the demon's book that they're leaving, not the true God. God has no reason to be mad at you. If he knows everything, why would you get mad, right? You only get mad if you don't know anything. Okay, so last time I checked, God is watching. He's obviously knows everything. It's just insanity. Like, Muslims don't know this is how other Muslims think. That they think they can kill you if you reject anything in the religion. They don't know that. That's why they love their religion so much, glorify it. They fight with you on it. They tell you they're happy. They don't know that person is ready to stab them and murder them. So I don't want you to think Muslims are okay with being killed, right? As a non-Muslim, you see the bad parts. You're confused why people are in this religion because they don't know these things. They don't know their religion says to kill them if they disagree with anything. They don't know. So as a non-Muslim, please do that. Increase their awareness and use your mind and pray to God Almighty for guidance. Don't abandon the fact that a God could be out there. No, just abandon blind belief, just following something. Instead, use your mind. But 2, ask God to guide you. So this is the last step people don't do. They don't call out to God himself. My Lord, if you're out there, if there's a God out there, I need your guidance on who you are, what's your correct religion, what's the name, and what parts of it are still there and correct, and what parts are corrupted. And tell us what to do to protect ourselves from the hypocrites. The ones you, in your book, are always telling us, persecuted righteous people in history, who persecuted the prophets you used to send down to guide us. They tried to obviously go after those males and push them out of the countries. And you guys are dumb as hell. Why would, every time a prophet came down, why would usually the government humans or those who are like the community leaders, which today would be like the Muslim preachers like sheikhs, right? And also would be the government because they put their Sharia law into the government. So why, right, with these humans in human history, the sort of old humans like the elders, they call them in a family, in a community, and those in government, okay? These ones who sort of benefit from acting like God, they act like authority. Why was it that humans like that always in human history always tried to persecute the prophets? What the hell was their problem? Think about it. I'm tired of you people not thinking. That means whatever the prophet sent down was telling these people, if anyone needs to be killed, they need to be killed. It was telling them they're the transgressors. It was telling them they're going to go to hell. It was telling them those who have already committed crime that they need to be killed for, they need to be killed now. And those who are just evil but didn't do anything like that, that they would be killed for, like killing others, well, they need to repent before their time is up with God. The prophet didn't come to personally kill anyone or instill any government. He was just telling them what's up. They're obviously not happy. But humans are weak. I just told you prophets are supernatural. You're a human, you're not supernatural. So who the hell is acting so tough and saying, hey, let's kick him out? That's the demon in you. And they have power from God. They're not powerful either. They're scared and weak as hell. But when God gives them power, so this is about God now, okay? God is giving the devil power over prophets. So don't insult my prophets and act like they're weak men. That some typical male in a government took some gun or took some sword and actually tried to kill him or something. Or they tried to put Jesus on the cross or whatever. Hell no. You're just humans. You can't touch people who are supernatural. Demons cannot touch them. God is the one that gives the devil extra power. He's the one that allows these demons to have way more power than you can imagine to actually act like they could physically put you in harm. But God always protected them at the end. So the prophets, where he keeps, and this is how you know this, the devil's lying. If you start from the first prophets, the first ones, Adam, Noah, and the others, they didn't have any stories where someone tells you they were killed. Abraham, Moses, Ishmael, I'm trying to say them in the English name, Solomon. Why is it only the recent prophets, John the Baptist, which is Yahya? Why is it prophets recently like Jesus? Why is it only these ones you hear stories they were killed or they were about to be killed, blah, blah, blah? Because the devil started to lie a little bit differently than in the beginning time. He changes his tactics. He didn't teach human beings homosexuality in the first few civilization. He taught them around the time of Prophet Lot. Like that, he can just use a different, because God created evil, not the devil. He just uses it. Because he can use what evil he already knows is created by God when he wants to use it, at whatever civilization he wants to introduce it. So he introduced this act of lying about prophets, acting like he's so tough and can kill them on a cross or kill them some other way all of a sudden. And it's just constant stories about prophets being killed. He didn't kill nobody. This evil thing is weak as hell. What do weak living beings like? They are jealous and envious of those who are strong. So they like to act like they're the ones who are strong. What do people who are jealous and envious do? They act like they don't like you. When they admire you, they don't hate you, they admire you. But when you look at them, they're going to make that face. They're going to have like that sort of dirty face like females usually make. They're going to act like they actually look down on you and stuff because they want you to actually believe that. I know this stuff is complex, but I pray to God every day that you all are guided to understand my words. And by the time that a lot of Muslims find this podcast, which is not going to be soon, inshallah, it's going to already be the time that God has done something divine that exposes what I'm telling you in a more divine way. And my testimony about what God made demons do to persecute me, just like those prophets, to expose all the lies they did to his religion and the psychology of evil and what's wrong with the human race and the solutions to many things, such as God showing me that they don't have the power to kill these men because they persecute me just like a prophet. Get it? They cannot touch me or kill me. They just bother me. God gave them only one time to abuse me in a jail and mental hospital because God wanted to teach me something. They don't have the power to do anything to me. And humans, when their demons are not possessing them, when they don't have that type of witchcraft, which I just told you, it's extra power. They don't have that over you. The humans cannot even look at me. Do you understand my words? Not only is everyone blind, but no one can actually look at me. It's impossible. So God is making them possessed to bother me. So I learn what I'm teaching you every day. And other things that you're going to see in the future. And other things that I just need to know so I do certain things. It's that simple. I came to take out the lies, the disrespect and the dishonor and the defamation that the devil put on my prophets, accusing them of being perverts, my creator, accusing him of being the pervert and the weirdo who hates us, and my gender, all the sexism and nonsense that follows them around. When demons possess people to harass me, they use females too much because they want me to hate the gender. You know? When evil humans are just evil humans. But they like to sensitize me to one group sometimes. They use Africans too much. Because I came to help that race. I'm African for that reason. I don't look like them because I'm not really human. I'm different than you. I just can't tell you who I am. I just am put in this gender and I'm put in this race because they're the two that the devil is attacking. I'm born into Islam because this is his true religion and it needs help too. The areas that need transformation are my qualities. Just know, all the advice I'm giving on this podcast, many times I say to God, what's the point? Who's this benefiting? If you're going to blind the human race, you're not going to let anyone find this content. You're putting me in a divine situation where demons follow me and the whole world doesn't know. No one knows who I am. So even if they see me, they're not going to behave respectfully because their demons have power to make them act inappropriate, even though I'm not the person they're talking like that to. They're scared of me, but you give them power to be evil around me like your prophets. And I'm creating this podcast for what reason? By the time you're ready to expose your actual true version of your religion, you don't need my podcast. You'll just do that when you're ready and everything will be fine. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be a huge gap. Because God did not let me live my life. I've been persecuted all my life. I'm almost 30 now. So I never really enjoyed my life. That means maybe he wants me to have a couple of years to myself to enjoy my life. And in those couple of years, humans are not going to be blinded anymore. They're going to be shown my podcast. Muslims and non-Muslims are going to see this content, and non-Muslims will follow it more, just so you know. When the true religion of Islam comes back again in the pure version, it's going to be non-Muslims who will be the leaders of it. They're going to join. They're going to be the true Muslims. The Muslims today are going to be the enemies because they're evil. I just told you. That's why whoever was always in the actual religion of God at that moment, like if a certain nation, right, who was already worshiping God, but they were practicing the evil stuff that they learned over time from the devil. When a prophet would come to them, right, like the Jews, almost every story a prophet came to them except a few. They disobeyed God's command to give up their evil and change. Why? Because they're already in his religion. They already worship him. They already worship God. They're already in his religion. They just changed it. They corrupted it. And they don't care because they're evil. They like it. They get to practice injustice to each other, usually the female. Okay, so then guess what the prophet is doing? He's saying, no, I'm going to demolish all this. This is over. That's what he's coming to do. They freak out. Same thing. God gives the devil more power to possess some of the wicked humans, because humans cannot bother a prophet. He's supernatural, I told you. I have to keep respecting and protecting the honor of these people. You weak, regular humans can't bother this person. So it's demons who are possessing you who have supernatural powers. They're weak as hell, but they're using power. Get it? The power is not accessible to you. It's accessible to the devil. He asked God for certain things. He asked to not be killed and not go to hell when he disobeyed God and got kicked out of heaven. Like that. He asked God for certain things. So you and I can't do nothing. It's between him and God. Whatever he allowed him to do, the wicked thing, we're kind of doomed in that sense. So don't then think, oh, she's saying the devil is powerful. No, I'm saying he's weak as hell. God is giving him extra. How many times do I have to use the word extra? God have mercy. Before this sort of persecution got so extreme, I would say 2015 is when it got extreme. Humans did not bother me. No one could look at me in the eye and act disrespectful. Do you get what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, these crazy possessed people, their demons are coming out of them, trying to bother me, accuse me, harass me, trying to assault you. When I say assault, I mean like they're just trying to tap you because they want me to kill the person. I don't mean attacking the person. They can't attack me or assault me like that. No, they want me to go to jail. They want me to kill the person. They're trying to use my strength against me. They want to portray me as a bad person. Okay, so what I'm saying is, the evidence that these religions are corrupted, not only the fact that evil is in it, is that prophets always were sent down. Anytime they were sent down, whoever was already practicing the religion always became the enemy. Okay, so Muslims today are going to be the enemy of Islam. Do you understand me? They're the actual enemy of this religion that they act like they're inside of. They're going to be the enemies because they're evil. They practice the filth in it. The good ones, they kill them. We don't know what they do to them. I didn't finish the example I was giving you. They lie to them and act like they're asking them to go back home to their home countries like Somalia, which is where I'm from, and they act like it's just vacation to visit extended family. They trick them, and they kill them there. In this persecution, God exposed me to a lot of the ways, right, that the devil is doing evil, using God's name and other things. Okay, so part of the persecution accused me of being a criminal, put me out of jail, accused me of mental illness, put me at a mental hospital, put me in an evil family from the beginning. They did a lot of evil things. Like that, God is exposing to me all the areas the devil is using, operating, and using human beings to commit injustice. Every area I saw it. I'm exposed to everything. 30 years, that's a long time. So for that reason, what does that mean? I got exposed to just the first way that it looks, okay? When a family is trying to do this to Muslims, God made demons possess this family. God intentionally put me in an evil family so he could show me, right, what the hell's wrong with these human beings. They're all possessed, okay, and they're not even there. 99% of the time is actually the demon. The human is gone, okay? So the demons of this family, God made the demons possess them to show me what they do all over the world. Whether they use religion or culture. This sort of thing where they try to trick someone to going back home. They brainwash them. They do witchcraft to them. They They abuse them, not necessarily consciously, but more like maybe, who knows, when the person's sleeping or whatever. They just do things. That's sort of abuse. Like they traffic someone. Okay, but they're tricking people. That's why the United States doesn't like it usually when people try to go back to Somalia or other countries. Because they've seen it a lot. Bad things happen when these people go back home. They're either trying to commit a crime or they're taking a victim with them who doesn't know anything and they're trying to harm that person. Okay? Sadly, the evil people in the United States, obviously the government, sometimes harass normal people just trying to go to those countries for whatever they're trying to do. Always the evil human obviously abuses the system, right? But this system of trying to verify maybe, right? Something that seems fishy or why people are going back to a country. It's good to always keep an eye out. Because it's just like trafficking. You get me? Is the person being trafficked going to tell you they're being trafficked or kidnapped? No. They're weak as hell and they actually let a human act like a god over them. They're scared of the person and they don't say nothing. Instead of fighting or dying in the process of fighting, they'd rather submit and obey. But whatever they're going to do to you is worse than being killed. Why are you okay with that? Because they're weak. It's that simple. Okay? We're not sugarcoating this nonsense. I'm sick and tired of human beings like this. There's so many of them, so there's so much filth happening in the world. They don't want to talk, even when they're in a big store. Wow. You cannot go to a cashier? You can't talk to random people. You can't just scream and say, I need help. You're scared of someone who doesn't have anything on you. They're pretending to be normal. You can't even expose someone in that situation. They're weak. Okay? There's two types of ways of calling someone weak. A way where you're insulting people, for rational fear they can have. And a way where you're just being honest and telling them that situation they should have been strong. They allowed themselves to be harmed and they should have fought back. When I call you weak in this case, that is me trying to discipline you so you don't continue to have such mentality. So you adopt the mentality of righteous people who fight and kill you when you're trying to harm them or others. And then the true righteous, no one can obviously have that intention towards them. I'm talking about righteous mentality, not righteous people. Because righteous people are the strong ones, no one can touch them. I'm talking about righteous mentality. For the average human who could be harmed, you need to adopt righteous mentality, where your body is everything to you. I'm so angry. There's too much evil in this world. And everyone just walks by, eats food, gets married, walks around. No one acts like they should. There's no seriousness. It's just sad. Oh my God, it's too sad. I'm angry, yes. But I'm angry for the victims. Okay? You don't know how much I love good people. You don't know how much I love God's creation that is not wicked. I would do anything to save their life. When I say anything, obviously it means moral things. But I can't just go and save everybody right now. And it's so disturbing. Every day they just walk around in these filthy religions. No one says anything. They don't learn from human history. People who always said something. I'm about to lose my mind. SubhanAllah. I'm so angry. This devil. Something bad's gonna happen to him soon. You guys think because he's invisible, nothing bad can happen. When we destroy the evil he put into this life. Don't worry about that. That's too supernatural. You don't worry about that. But when Muslims find my podcast, when others find my podcast, it's gonna be way in the future. Because I believe God will give me some time to myself. Because the persecution is too extreme right now. 24/7 being bothered and harassed and stalked by these demons. I told you it's too supernatural for you. They're using birds, animals of other types, cats, insects, or pests, dogs, humans, vehicles. They use everything. That's when you start to see how much power they have. And they basically defeated you, the human, when I just said that stuff, who literally had a thought come to them from the devil that said, that's crazy. That's crazy stuff. What do you mean vehicles and cars and humans and pests and cats and... Listen to me. That is the reason why they destroyed you. That is the reason why they have so much control. Because you don't want to admit that you need to listen and actually try to have an open mind. When people like me tell you something this unique, something you can't necessarily see with your eyes, something you don't have much knowledge of, you don't want to actually think it's possible. They got you. They got you. This is why you're possessed. This is why a lot of you are evil as hell. This is why bad things happen. Because none of you want to think and use your mind. You like to shut down everything. That seems too big and difficult. Well, how are you supposed to fight your enemy? Your enemy is invisible. Of course he's going to have powers then. You think all he does is just teach people bad things? Inshallah, this is not necessary. You don't have to understand these complex things. One day I'll explain it very well. My job right now is to pray for as many people as I can, that they don't leave God Almighty, but they just leave these evil families and Muslims and humans overall who practice any immorality or any evil and abuse of any kind, that these two scriptures, the Qur'an, the Bible, and false religions, the other false religions have, and understand that these two books are from God. You should study both of them. Take their good, leave their bad. Because the devil did not put... Basically, he put some truth into the Bible and some truth into the Quran. So you're not going to throw one book out. The other one has some essential knowledge too. It's the devil who's putting those words into the Quran that's always violent and telling you to kill everybody and everything you see. God is not crazy. If God really believed in killing people who don't worship him anymore, he'd kill all non-Muslims. You people don't want to think. I'm so disappointed in you, the human race. You don't want to think. If God really believed in somehow killing you or harming you because you don't believe in his religion, telling humans to act dominant over you and kill you as if they somehow created you, because someone can only kill you when you're trying to kill them. That's just about protecting their life because they have no choice. God is not going to tell someone who has no right to come after your life to touch you as if they're some God or whatever, as if they own your life and created you. So when the book keeps saying that, when the book talks about disbelievers, 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 the entire Quran has been corrupted mostly to talk about non-Muslims, and it labels them disbelievers. And the sheikh, the preacher, will be like, no, disbeliever means those who know and said no. Non-Muslim is just non-Muslim. They just misguided. He's lying to you. Because then when they're talking in a lecture, they're going to say, let's go conquer their countries. We're going to one day, the Muslim leaders will come. Mahdi Abdullah, which is not their real name. It's not Mahdi. Mahdi just means the guided one. Someone that God guided. They're like the only Muslim that's different and guided to righteousness. Okay? So Mahdi just means guided one. But their actual name is like Muhammad Abdullah or something. So basically they're like, oh, we're going to figure it out. He's here because his father's name is Abdullah. You're never going to figure out who this person is. You're never going to figure out probably who your prophet is, Isa. Jesus, when he returns, if that's actually true. And when they do return, they're going to tell you, well, you obviously, evil humans obviously know they're evil. They obviously know God is not evil. It's not like they're misguided or something. They work for the devil, goodness. They know what they're doing. They're like the demons. they're going to freak out. No, they're not going to freak out. They know they're going to go to hell. They know they're bad people. They know God hates them. They know they've harmed his creation and transgressed on people's rights. So they're just crazy. They just chose hellfire just like the devil did. Just as you would say, but why would he choose hellfire, right? Why would he disobey God if he's going to go to hell? That doesn't make sense. He knows he's going to hell. Exactly. So the same way he's still capable of choosing such a lifestyle of disobeying God, even though he's going to go to hell and he doesn't care about going to hell, evil humans are the same. They don't care either. Because no one actually knows what the hell is. When they see hell, then they're going to freak out. It's like basically they love harming others so much. They're like blinded by how much they enjoy that they can't think about the hell. That's really the best explanation I got for you. Since evil versus good human, good is strong, evil is weak. So not only are they a creation, right? Hell is obviously painful, but they're the weak part of the creation. Why would they want to go to hell? It doesn't matter to them. Get it? They're blinded by the possession. Demons are in their body. They do witchcraft to them. They're blinded. They're seeing someone over there. They just want to cuss them out. That's like some sort of drug to them. You know, it makes them forget that God is out there for a while. Okay, so that's why they do so much evil. They harass someone here, they harass someone there, they stare at someone here, they get into your government and create bad laws, they get married just to have children to harm them and control each other. And that's why they're doing evil all the time. And the ones who look like decent, normal people having their jobs are evil as hell too. In the majority, you just don't see what they do. That's why they're called narcissists, psychopaths. They hide it. Woo! That's why they do so much evil. Not just because they're evil, but because by doing so much, it prevents them from having those gaps. You know, like a moment of pause. They don't want to pause. If they pause, they realize where they're going. So they go, boom. Just like someone, right? They tell you they took a drug, but they don't want to take a gap. They took another drug, another drug, another drug. Because they don't ever want to see the aftermath of, right, the relapse or what the drug did to their body. They don't want to remember the whole reason they took the drug, to numb themselves of some emotion that's like uncomfortable for them. So they took more drugs until the day ends, and then they wake up the next day like that. So they do more evil, more evil, more evil, more evil in their head, physically, verbally. Woo! That's it. So they don't ever pause and remember where they're going. They're going to hell. Okay? How much God hates them, because God does not love everybody. Don't insult our Creator. Just as you get mad and hate evil humans, you can never imagine a God loving such a wicked thing. He doesn't love them. He's just merciful. If they want to repent, he'll accept it. Obviously, only he knows who he's going to be like, no, but he'll obviously accept it if they're sincere. But he'll punish them in hell for a long time. That's what it means. The devil flipped it. Obviously, mercy comes from love. We're not saying he's not loving. God is loving. He just doesn't love. Look at my word. He doesn't love an evil person, because love means you don't care what they did. Okay, that's impossible. If you're a good person and your son killed people and raped people, obviously you hate him now. Does that mean you're not loving anymore? Come on, don't insult yourself. You're a loving person. That's why you hate this one so much. Because you are so loving to the victim, what they did, that, right? And you're so loving to good overall that you hate evil so much. So whoever does that, you hate them. You get me? You don't personally have anything against this person, right? If they were good, then you'd like them like that. It's what they did that made you hate them, because that's who they are. They're evil too. So don't separate their actions from themselves. What the hell? They're a bad person if they do bad things. So it's them who you hate. I'm sick and tired of people downgrading evil people. They do so much in this life. They hurt everybody. And still at the end of the day, people come to them so nicely. Come over here. God loves you. I'm sick and tired of them always getting mercy. God already is enough. Merciful to them. He's already done that. I'm already sick and tired of the fact that they have a chance to even repent and get out of hell at some point. I'm already pissed off at that. Because they should just be destroyed forever and just perish. Goodness. They don't deserve it, and they already have that. And you guys want to make it worse for us by being more nice to them? Do you even know the psychological and the actual physical consequence of hurting other people? Do you know what it does to that person? That person wants to kill themselves. How dare you act like God should love those who made them feel that way? They don't deserve nothing. It's God's choice if he wants to forgive them. You leave that to him. Leave his business. But don't take that sort of aggressiveness from him that he hates them. He does not love them. If he loved them, that means then good people and evil humans are equal in his eyes. You just failed. This whole argument of logic. I told you cannot argue with me as a human being, even though we're not talking. I'm going to defeat all the thoughts in your head that come from the demons. If he loves everyone, that means good and bad people are equal to him in his eyes. You guys are going the dumbest route. He's merciful in the sense that he's willing to accept their forgiveness. Transform them. He'll punish them as necessary, the length that's required, and then they'll be fine. Some will never come out of hell, so leave it alone. Leave that to him. He's already way too much merciful. You don't see the earth sinking. You don't see every rapist after he walks out of a victim. You don't see God sending down thunder. Leave it alone already. I'm already sick and tired of the fact that they don't get killed right away. I'm already pissed off. There's so much evil in this world and bad people get to get away with it every day. So leave it alone. Don't ask God for more mercy than he already gives. Sick and tired of all of you. You never think about the victim. You always think about the criminals because you yourself, the majority of the human race, are capable of rape and murder yourself. You're evil as hell. That's why you talk like that about God. That's why you say things that you don't have the right to ask him to do. That's why you act like righteous people like me should let you go and forgive you and be nice to you. I hate you to death. So shut it. You don't deserve nothing if you lay your finger on any innocent person and harm them. You don't deserve nothing. You're wicked, you're evil, you're a disgusting creation, part of the human race. You don't appreciate your creator. Calling you every day in your subconscious, in your mind, in your conscience, trying to get you to stop the evil you do. You don't want to take chances when people call you to change. You don't want to use history as you're just like your forefathers. Those lunatics knew the prophet came down. They knew he told them they're going to go to hell. They chose the devil. Okay, you're all going to choose the devil again. Except those who want to think a little bit differently. The majority of you are going to hell. You want to change? There's a nice little platform. Okay? Like a carpet laid out in front of you. Take it. That's called repentance. Getting evil out of your heart. Getting demons out of your body. Getting yourself punished for what you did to people. Don't hide, don't lie the evil you did. And don't hide and don't lie the fact that you're possessed. Go against evil as if you were never evil yourself. That's the way you can compensate us. You owe everybody everything. You don't just owe victims an apology. You don't just owe victims a compensation. You owe everyone an apology, a compensation. When you go out there harming others and doing evil and harassing people, you don't have the right to do any evil to anything. So Muslims are going to be the ones to disbelieve and be the enemies of God and the real Islam when their leaders come down. Because these leaders are coming for the human race. They lie and act like some dictator is coming for them. That's going to somehow establish an Islamic state for them. See, that's how you know these are not the people of God. They act like God is somehow just their little God. They act like their prophets are some sort of little, male that just somehow does their work like some assistant. Whoever God sends down is for the whole world. The people they're going to like the most, the people they're going to want to hang around with and want to give hug to are the people who are good people, regardless of their religion. God is good. The leaders he chooses who are supernatural humans are good. So they're just going to love a good person. No one cares about your belief. No one cares if you're worshiping a rock all day. As long as you're not an evil person, they're going to love you. You're going to join them. You're going to work with them to bring justice to this world. It's that simple. The bad ones are going to be sitting over there, finally getting what they deserve. the punishment they deserve. Intellectual people who know how to shut them down, because supernatural means you know how demons work. So the human cannot argue with you. They can't do what they usually do when they try to justify evil or sexism or perversion. They can't accuse a prophet Muhammad of being a pervert who harmed a little girl. Whoever God sends down to help the human race knows how to shut that devil down. Because they're supernatural. They know the demon in the body. They'll just make the demon die. They don't even want to argue with the person. Why should they argue with you? They're better than you. They're a person of God. They don't need to talk to you. You know you're lying anyway. Someone actually believes in something and they don't know. They're obviously humble and listen to you, and they're like, really, thanks for correcting me. Anyone who's like fighting with you is obviously an evil person. And those who actually are defending and fighting over something that you would say is evil or immoral, or they're just a bad human. Woo! I just think humans struggle with their own species being evil. They don't understand why someone would choose it. Why would someone want to be evil? Even when they're going to go to hell, the same way demons know they're going to go to hell, and they don't change. What the hell's wrong with you people? Evil means you just are so jealous of other people. The way to become a bad person is just envy. It's not another emotion. It's just envy. You're so envious of people. You're so arrogant. You act like you have the right to be jealous of what other people have, as if it's your right or something. You're so envious. You can't be happy for others. So what did you just lose? Love. You lack the ability to love other people. So therefore you become hateful. Envy? Then hatred. Now there's no way. Even if it's not about God or religion, it doesn't matter. It's not about God or religion. You're not doing things for that reason. You just naturally like bad. You just like others suffering. You just like others being harassed and harmed and abused. It makes you feel good. Is that normal? No. That's why you're evil. It means you're psychologically twisted. So the devil insults and mocks the righteous people of God and always accuses them of being mentally ill, when evil humans are mentally ill. Get it? So whatever God wants me to do, these divine missions, it's going to be a couple of years from now, probably. It's not going to be now. It is just very soon. Whoever he's going to use, such as Prophet Jesus, if he's going to come back, which will be a nice thing. I've asked God to just please do that. Just stop these Christians. They don't listen. So just please bring them the prophet they're so obsessed with. They keep worshiping him. Let him shut them down. Let him say, I'm sorry, I'm not your God. I'm just a human. I was supernatural. That's why I could do certain cool things. But yeah, I'm just like the others, like Abraham and Solomon. You guys have been committing a sin worshiping me. But those who are truly misguided, obviously God forgives you. It's not intentional on your part. The others, if they repent, God forgives. Like, he's going to remind you of God again. It's not about him. That love is still going to be there. Okay? He's not going to hate you or insult you or tell you bad people. You worship me. You're bad. He's not going to do that. That's what it means to be righteous. It means you're loving. Okay, you just simply hold people accountable for what they did wrong. Those that actually know what they were doing, those that didn't know. Evil conduct, obviously you always know. But things that have nothing to do with evil, like not knowing who God is, you worship this creation instead. Well, obviously no one's going to treat you like a bad person. The prophet will just be loving to you and call you to the real God again. Just like he did before, but humans failed. And everyone will have the truth. Muslims are going to be the worst enemies of, the supernatural leaders God sends down. They're going to be the worst enemies. Just like the people of that time, such as, for example, the Jews, always became the enemies of Prophet Moses and others. When those prophets were coming down, correcting whatever book they already had from a prior prophet that was corrupted, and this prophet is saying, that's corrupted, follow this one. You humans are, etc., etc. They're like, hell no, we don't want to change. They want to just continue their evil. Okay, the prophet had to leave. God had to destroy them. It's that simple. History repeats in that way. The way you know Islam is corrupted is only Prophet Muhammad, they turned him into a dictator. They turned him into someone that conquers other people's lands and non-Muslims. But every prophet before him, go to Muslims, what do they tell you? Exactly, they just simply came to people, were just a warner. They just gave you information like I do on this podcast, and they left you alone. Okay, so why is only this prophet some sort of khalif, some sort of this sort of weird sort of army or militant type of person that came to sort of force you into his little cult? That's how you know it's a lie. Don't they tell you all these people in the biblical, all those men were prophets? Not everyone, obviously, like Nehemiah, but I'm talking about like Solomon, Moses, etc. Don't they tell you they were prophets? Okay, and don't they tell you Muhammad is a prophet? Okay, don't they tell you Jesus is a prophet? Woo! Separate what's logical from what's not logical instead of just abandoning all religion and God altogether. You guys always fail. When people lie to you, you seem to just give up whatever subject they're talking to you about. Let's say they're talking about health. You just give it up altogether instead of just leaving the part that's not logical and twisted and immoral. So you guys should agree with them and be like, you're right, those people were special to God. Maybe you don't believe they were prophets, fine. There's no fault on you in that because you don't know. You see, this is why it's evil to insult people who don't believe in something because there's no evidence. You didn't meet these people. You're not a sinner for not believing someone's a prophet or not because you don't actually know. Those people can't prove it. God didn't tell you. It's just a belief. You don't know. You go to hell for being a bad person who hurts others. It's only God who has the right to take your life if you disbelieve. Okay, but when can we call someone a disbeliever? When people of God that God himself sent down like an actual prophet is right in front of their face and telling them something and he can prove it easily. They can do some miracles or whatever. He can prove it. That human who says, I don't believe, that's when they really committed the sin. And that's when God will destroy them. No prophet or Muslim is going to be told to kill that person. You don't have the right. That's between them and God. The only time God tells you to attack others is when they're trying to harm others. It's just what you already think a government should do, right? It stops criminality that you know means they're hurting others. God have mercy, not what they believe. Because then that's you acting like God. When you're stopping them from killing someone, well, that's just common sense. Woo! So those prophets, how come, tell them this, tell the Muslim, how come every prophet just left people? How come Moses just left and Pharaoh was just consumed by God's power? They were just killed in the ocean. Why every prophet in your Islamic, religion follows sort of a little bit of the Bible where these humans, God punished them? Why your prophet has to kill everybody and conquer them and force them into Islam and kill the Muslims who leave it? That's how you know they're creating a fake character out of a prophet. Why is he different? He should do what the others did. He should do what Noah did. When no one wanted to listen to him, it obviously he was preaching for 950 years. Okay, I'm sorry, 950, 100 years. Okay, that's a long time. So obviously some people always believed, right? But generation to generation in that 950, 100 years, wasn't there obviously a time where people disbelieved? Yes, it was those times, right? So then he will be told to just leave. Like one time we obviously have an example, like when he built the ark and just left. That's what I'm saying. They leave because they don't have the right to force you onto anything. Otherwise, they're not righteous. That's the first reason. The first reason is no one has the right to take your life. 2, that person that is calling you to God is a righteous person. So they can't do it. Okay? That's not even something that will enter their mind. That's why they're from God. Get it? Isn't God good? Isn't God just? Okay, so if they're from God, then they're just and good too, this person. Just not at God's level, right? So duh. They're never going to hurt you. They just came to give you information. That's why Islam calls them a warner. There's many verses. The Qur'an is, the Prophet is like speaking, and God is telling us what they would say. Like, I just came as a clear warner. Okay, people don't want to listen, you leave. 20 years later, those people could then regret what they did and actually worship God. Do you agree? So you have to give people time also. That's the other thing. about religion. You have to give people time because it takes time for their heart to change. So a true person of God would do the part of Christianity that's still not corrupted, which they always say to you, can I pray for you? That is from Islam. That is from the original creator, what he taught the prophets and messengers to do. You talk to people, we don't want to change. Okay, fine. Just pray for them. Then leave. A couple of weeks later, some of them will be like, what did you say about that topic? They're going to want to talk to you again. Because basically the reason you're praying for them, because you might be thinking, wait a minute, doesn't that mean God is bad? If someone doesn't pray for them, they go to hell. If someone prays for them, it's possible they repent. Wait a minute, what was God doing? Isn't he therefore a bad God? Because you know what, you think it's God not doing what a God does to help them. No, don't accuse God. They have demons, get it? They're possessed. So when you pray for them, they have free will to change. And listen, okay, but they don't want to, right? Okay, why don't they want to? What, like technically, what is the reason bad people don't change? Their demons are always talking to them like this human who's like your friend walking next to you. They're that close to them. Okay? They're in their body, so they get to whisper to them and say for hours and hours. That human could have actually tried to maybe think a different way, but for hours and hours and hours, the demons inside their body are going to try to get them to go back to feeling envious. I told you, it's that emotion again. Envious and hateful again. Okay. You know, they're not going to really... Whew, tired. They're not going to really try to tell them what this person of God told them to hate that or whatever. It's not really about the message they were given. The demons are ruminating on these emotions. Get it? Envy and hatred. They're just saying things to the human of many different, types of things that they're saying to them. Many different things they're talking about, but all fall under the category of making this person feel envious and hateful again towards just anyone God created. It's not, I don't mean the prophet. I mean like just the God's creation. Okay? Because evil humans have nothing against God. Get it? They have nothing against God. They don't have a problem worshiping him. You get me? They can't be jealous of God. So what's their problem? It's that there's just evil in their heart. Okay, how is evil in their heart? What happened? They're envious of God's creation. They're jealous of people. They cannot be happy for others. They look at something materialistic. They're not happy you have it. They look at someone pretty. They're not happy that that person's prettier. And then they become hateful and wish that that person would get harmed. My goodness, look at how much noise. How many times is the airline gonna fly above me? That's demonic. I'm not in a place where airlines fly like that. It's a demonic thing. It's supernatural. Okay. Those bad emotions of being envious and hateful towards God's creation prevents them from ever wanting to change. Get it? Prevents them from ever having the opposite emotion of love entering their heart. You get me? So they could believe this is God. They could believe this religion is right? They could have whatever evidence is needed, whatever knowledge is needed for them to know that. But whoever, doesn't want to join, you get me? It's not because they have a problem with religion or anything. It's that in their heart is just bad. And worshiping God requires that you're loving. They're hateful. They can't do it. Okay? When God maybe says, give charity, they're going to be like, no, I don't want to give charity to this person. I hate this person. Like that. Because God's religion doesn't tell you to just worship him. It tells you to, help others, do things for others, sacrifice things for God. Like that. They can't do it. They can't be loving because they're filled with those emotions of the opposite. Hatred and envy. Another airline. I'm sick and tired of this. It's so loud. That's why I'm raising my voice in this recording. I hope it's recorded very well. So if we're going to try to help people go to God, we have to help them with their emotions. The envy and the hatred they have in their hearts. That's preventing them from having any love towards God himself. And what God's religion tells you to do, to obviously just spread love. Love to yourself. Don't do this sin. Don't do that sin because it's not good for you. You're going to like it because you see that it's protecting you. Because, okay, if you love yourself, you're going to be okay with it. Since evil humans don't love themselves, right? They don't have love in their heart. They hate themselves and they hate everyone else. Duh. They don't like to listen to what you tell them that is good, for them to leave. Hey, leave. This is not good for you. Don't do drugs. It's bad for your health. They don't care. Okay? Demons are possessing them and they torture their mind. They torture their heart. They torture their day. They just want to numb that torture. They just want to not hear that. The devil tricks them into thinking if they take the drug, it will numb it. It's not. It's just going to give it more power over the person. And now they're like, oh, what's wrong with me? I'm getting worse. And they're going to take another drug. Another drug. It's like that. It's a cycle. Whew, tired. I don't know how long I've been recording. I need to stop. So we need to help them understand these emotions, learn to be humble and bring love into their heart. That's going to help them listen to God now. Because finally, that quality they don't have of thinking rationally, because obviously that emotion clouds their judgment. Hatred clouds your judgment, obviously. Finally, they're going to think now. They're going to have a pause. And they're going to listen to what you say. I'm talking about when God's true religion comes back. When that person, whoever God is choosing now, tells them why God doesn't want them to do something, right? Something small that doesn't make them evil, like alcohol. It's easy now to give it up because they honor themselves now. You get me? It's about honoring themselves. And then when it's about evil conduct, well, obviously you're not going to explain why they shouldn't do that. They're just going to give it up. You get me? They're just going to cry and be like, they were such a horrible person. They're just going to give that up. That's about conscience. Everyone's created with that conscience of evil being obviously evil. They just lie and act like, right? They don't know what they're doing. So they're just going to give it out. That's about the part where they obviously choose to just cry and say they repent. Oh, Lord, forgive us, Okay, now they changed. It's that simple. And the other parts, right, where it just requires evidence, who God is, the fact that this person is from God, this book is from him. That's just about that person using knowledge and wisdom and whatever God gives them to simply prove to evil humans, right, this is actually from their creator. That's just about evidence. Once they see the proof, obviously they'll join it. They don't have anything against it. But first, the evil has to leave them, obviously. You get me? So we have to help them with their morality first. And then it's easy to show them that this is God. This is who he is. This is his religion. Then they'll actually worship him. But they cannot worship God when they're evil. So when evil humans are always in God's religion, which obviously is the whole point of this episode, how angry I am that they're always in his religion, it's because it's corrupted. They like it. They get to do evil and not get punished by the government. Because they take over the government. They make their religion the government like Islam does. And now who's going to punish you? Nobody. Your filthy, evil, fake religion the devil created is in your government. They get to justify rape, murder, theft, slavery, harming non-Muslims, conquering. No one's going to hold anyone accountable. And those who have decency, they kill them. Okay? Righteous, strong people, obviously they can't touch them. But that's why God doesn't create them. He doesn't even want them. God obviously does not want to create righteous people in a time where obviously everyone has become evil. You get me? Like how Muslims, how now everyone is evil. I told you it's just decent ones, but we're not going to call them righteous. Most of the reason they leave the religion is not even because of morality. You get me? Like they saw perversion and just ran away. It's some other reason they sometimes leave it, okay? But those who left it because obviously of morality, okay, they're rare. They just run off somewhere. They sort of hide and just, it's sad. They don't have understanding, right? They don't actually know God is on their side. He's so proud of them. So they feel always sad and, right, abandoned, and they don't know what to do. They really think there is no God out there, So the righteous, right, really strong people, well, God is going to create them to come help you. So if they're going to be created, they're usually created to come help you. they're gonna come to help you. So usually God likes to reserve them and not create them until the actual leaders of God himself, right, like the supernatural people he chooses, when they're actually born and they're in that lifetime where they're gonna be exposing themselves to be a leader. Okay, the righteous people are gonna be created around that time. You know, they're gonna be born around that time so they can actually work with this person, help this person. But of course, I just told you, righteousness is a character. You can all become righteous, okay? I was just talking about the ones who are righteous from the beginning. You know, nothing could corrupt them, that kind of righteous. While the average human, a lot of you are toxic and crazy, you're evil to some degree, okay, you could just become moral and adopt a lot of righteousness, correct? Okay. So let's just call you moral. We don't want to be confused about who we're talking about, since you were evil to some degree before. Drinking alcohol doesn't make you evil, okay? It's a sin. You don't understand it. Evil means you like harming others and yourself. Whether the harm is emotional, physical, verbal, psychological, it doesn't matter. Don't think it's just physical. And you have hatred and envy in your heart. That's how you will ever have such a desire. Okay, we're not going to call you righteous. Don't insult people. Otherwise, how are we going to separate people? Okay? Just call yourself moral if you become good. You obviously are going to be the ones, right, if you become moral, despite what religion says, who are going to work with these leaders when they're here. You're going to be the ones to obviously make them proud that you changed, and those who didn't have any evil in their heart before, right, they just misguided on who God is. Even if they're Muslim, you get me? That doesn't mean they understand God. Finally, right, these are the people who are really going to follow whoever God sends to help you. You guys are going to be the winners. The loser is always an evil human. Those who leave being evil and repent, well, now they're a winner, okay? You can always run out of that darkness and come back. Don't use religion as your moral compass. It's corrupted as hell. Use your conscience. You know right from wrong. That's not you relying on yourself and not God. He gave that to you. Come on. You have to be thinking. If God allows the devil to corrupt his religion, then shouldn't he give you something that then would protect you? Right? Because you can't rely on his book. And does the book teach you everything? Does it teach you how to be moral? No, right? The book just talks about maybe what's bad and what's good, but it doesn't teach you to be moral, right? That's on you. That's for you to choose in your heart. That's a choice you make in the heart section, in your mind. Good persons, just good persons. That's simple. You just don't have a lot of knowledge or understanding about this life. But you know what a good person is. They could never do bad to others. It's that simple. You can never do bad to yourself. It's that simple. You would always fight to protect your body. You would never just lay there and allow yourself to be raped or whatever, because you honor yourself. You see, just as you wouldn't let someone lay there and be raped, right? You would defend that person. It's the same way you see yourself. You're going to then obviously protect yourself. Death is normal. So that's what I'm saying. People like that exist. Every day they're running around helping strangers and they die in the process. They exist, okay? So yeah, inshallah, the truth is coming. These Muslims who are suffering under the evil Islam that the devil created, even though a lot of them have died, a lot of them have suffered, it's just like other humans who suffered under injustice, governments and cultures. Humans have always suffered. God will deal with those who've harmed them and abused them. He's just. He's loving in the sense that, right, he's loving to the victim, and he'll really punish those who harm them. That's the kind of God you want. Take care of yourselves. And just know that if you ever become a Muslim, right, God guides you to this religion, right? Obviously, you're a good person. You're not going to obviously practice the evil in it. Well, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell a Muslim. These people are harmful, okay? They'll ask you to go out with them somewhere and they'll try to kill you. I'm not joking around. And this is the proof that this is God's religion. Because why are you trying to kill people? Because you don't want any evidence. You don't want anyone coming out and becoming their own group that establishes the moral parts of the Islam that was lost. They're scared of that because now they have no power as demons who are possessing these evil humans to hurt Muslims and others using the false Islam they created, correct? They're so scared of losing control, like a dictator is afraid of losing control. And they actually use more soldiers, right? When people stand up for themselves. It's like that. Good people are good people. Don't mock God. Don't actually believe these are the people of God or something. Woo! I told you to use your conscience. When your conscience says, that's so evil, why would a God tell you to kill someone who doesn't worship him? Exactly. You're right. Good job. Just like Prophet Noah didn't kill anyone, he just left when people didn't agree. Muslims are hypocrites. How dare they act like their prophet is different than Prophet Noah and Adam? He would have done what those prophets did, leave you alone. They are lying. Every single character out of this prophet is fake, except right when they say he's honest, obviously. The bad parts of him is a character the devil created. Inshallah, all lies will be taken out soon.